Many young kids struggle with irritating clothing, big crowds or gatherings, haircuts, loud noises, quick transitions. They're all small sensory activities that add up to huge emotional struggles. So where are these struggles coming from, and why is it so stinking hard to find some answers? If this sounds like your child, this video is for you, for moms and dads and toddlers or elementary age kids that struggle to participate in certain activities because it's just too overwhelming from a sensory or behavioral perspective. In this video, we're going to look way back to early development to find the cause of so many of the sensory storms and integration struggles from a brain and a nervous system perspective. Looking at those struggles through this lens is going to give you a fresh perspective on what's possible. I'm going to share with you Miss Eleanor's story real quick. This girl is the most incredible little human. She first started seeing us in April for some sensory issues and some anxiety that she was struggling with. She hated haircuts and wouldn't even let her mom brush or style her hair, which is not fun for a hairdresser mom. 1 month into her hair plan, Eleanor walked into her adjustment wearing a ponytail, and I actually have not seen her not have a ponytail in every single adjustment since. So she's moving through that sensory storm beautifully. The easiest way to understand where these struggles come from is through what we call the developmental triangle. I'll draw it out for you. It looks like this. So the nervous system goes through 4 phases of development, 4 major phases, we'll say. So the bottom right here is brain and nervous system development. This is while baby's in utero, in mom's belly, that brain, that spinal cord are all developing. Once the baby's born, they have 3 expectations. We call these the basics. They need to eat, they need to sleep, and they need to poop. They need to do those things effectively, efficiently, every single day. Once we've got those things mastered, the next step is motor and movement. So this is where we'll see the baby start to roll over. They'll sit up, they'll crawl, they'll walk, they'll run. Once all of those things are mastered and mastered well, we've got coordination at that part of the nervous system, that's when we start to see big brain growth. So that's things like social connections, emotional regulation, behavior, right? So they can respond appropriately to all of those situations because the foundation underneath has been laid solidly. If we start to have any sort of issues in any of these lower things, the above cannot happen effectively. And what's unique about this is during all of this process of development through the triangle, the sensory nervous system is learning. So like I said, if we have chaos during any of these phases of development, the sensory system learning is going to be off, right? So you might notice, like, my kid is so dramatic about loud noises. They do not like large gatherings. Certain pieces of clothing drive them crazy. They're just dramatic. It's not your child that is acting dramatically, it's their nervous system that does not know, it hasn't learned how to respond appropriately to those stimuli. So what happens when your child is stuck in any of these lower tiers is their nervous system shifts into a sympathetic or that fight or flight state. And once they live in that fight or flight state for a long time, we start to see sensory learning challenges that persist long term. So what does that mean for the big brain functions, those social, behavioral, and emotional development challenges? Those processes have to battle that sensory system for development, which means it's going to be a big challenge for that kiddo to respond appropriately with the social, with the emotional, and with their behavioral expectations. So what can you do? Focus on the brain and the nervous system, right? Nerves that fire together, wire together. And focusing on healing that nervous system first will cause development to skyrocket in so many aspects, including and especially the sensory system. Go ahead, check out the article linked below. You'll learn a ton more about chiropractic and the sensory system. If you have any questions, please reach out. We're happy to help.